Hold on to your butts, folks. Blue Jays on the corners, 1 out. The Dodgers lead by 1. Yamamoto's 0-2. Coming to Kirk. Broken back, ground ball. Betts has it, steps on the bag. The throw to first. Double play! From backs against the wall to back. The Dodgers cement their dynasty.
Dodgers radio play-by-play voice Steven Nelson.
Wow,
friend of the program, colleague
of ours. They've grown up.
Hey, Nelly, you get more run on this network now that you don't work here. You know that?
You know, Matty V, that's actually an excellent point. It is an excellent point. It's what happens when you're friends with all of the producers and like, how can we weasel this guy into the show? You know, I saw some of the your dear executives during the World Series, like, yeah, we hear you on the air a lot. And I'm like, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Start charging them, man. That's
it must have been so much fun being able to call that, especially for the team's audience that wins the World Series, right? It's a whole different animal than if you're calling it on a national telecast or if you're calling it on the losing side, because at that point, you have all the license to root for the home team.
Manny, that's something I've heard you say over the years when we were working together, just how fun it is when you have a little bit of skin in the game, you know, to use your phrase. And I knew that when I took the job, but I didn't know that to the degree that I know it now. And when you understand just how much the fan base can connect to the local audience and that relationship, I didn't fully grasp the strength of that bond, and I do now. I definitely do now. And you know, Joe's job, Joe Davis, and you sat in that chair a long time when you're doing big time national broadcast. It's a tough seat. It's a thankless seat because you got to walk that line of objectivity. You got people on both sides of the fence barking at you how you hate their team. Which means you're doing it right, but you know it's hard to kind of dial up that excitement meter and like, hey, did I turn up to 10 for that play just like I did for that play? Like that's a really hard thing to do. So when you know you're wearing a team's colors and a team's logo, you can sort of just sell out all the way. I am mindful of like if there's good ball, there's good ball. If you know if the Blue Jays hit a big home run like or made a great play. Like that's in the World Series, especially like you got to get up and respect good ball when it's there. So I try not to sound like, you know, my dog just got, you know, hit or something if, you know, something good happens against the Dodgers because, you know, it's baseball. But yeah, it's certainly more fun.
So Steven, all that said, was there a moment or time, when did that happen that switch flipped for you from I'm not the national guy anymore, I'm the Dodgers? And they became your team, and you really voiced that out over the airways like you did that last call.
Yeah, H, good question. I think it would be the 2024 postseason. So, you know, I hadn't done radio since college prior to last year. And it was under unfortunate circumstances. Charlie Steiner, the longtime voice of the Dodgers, has been battling health issues for the last couple of years. And he's fighting his tail off, and he's still doing pregame stuff, and did opening day this year. But I'm just kind of keeping his seat warm, and so that's why I did last year's postseason and this year's, and going through the 2024 World Series run, and then hearing from people, at the parade celebration, spring training in Glendale this past spring, and really throughout this year. Fans coming up and talking about, they were stuck in traffic, and so they're listening to the radio a lot. It's a rare
happens story. In L.A.
Rare story in Los Angeles. Or how here's a very specific story. Last year, the NLCS, a Dodger fan came up to us at Citi Field and said, "Hey, my mom is 92 years old, and she has kind of lost her sight over the last few years." And so, but she's a diehard Dodger fan, and so she's reliant on the radio broadcast, and so appreciative of you guys trying to paint the picture for what's going on. And that one kind of knocked me back. And Rick Monday, Mo's, longtime broadcaster. He's going to be 80 in a couple weeks, World Series champion 81. He's done more baseball games than anybody on the planet the last however many years. And I was like, Mo, like, what? And he's like, that's the job. That's the job. And so I think that was sort of the moment where I kind of realized, like, this isn't just like calling a game. This is kind of being part of the community.
Hey, because you mentioned Rick Monday, I want to ask you about that too, because in those social media clips that you post, and the last one we showed of the final out is so good for so many reasons. I have two questions about it. First one is, when you're doing that, and Mo is, he's not, I don't think he's very active on Instagram. Let's put it that way, right? That's not his jam. Does he look at you like you're out of your mind? Because that's what's being, like, he looks at you like, oh, this 36-year-old kid is posting again. God, get me out of here.
Yeah, so it's
Lauren's even laughing at that one.
Excellent question. So over the last years, I've done those booth views clips. My favorite part when I watch them back is just looking at Mo. Because the juxtaposition of my clown self losing my mind and then Mo, who is just stoic, locked in, cannot be bothered. Look at him. Look at him. It's yin and yang. And I mean, people do ask, like, does Mo actually hate him? And I say, maybe a little bit. There's probably something to that. But you talk about his social media activity. So his stepdaughter runs his Instagram account. And so now that I didn't become aware of this until a couple of weeks ago, and now, I'm kind of tagging him in these videos. I think she's telling him, hey, like, you got to stop looking so surly. And so the final out, I'm watching it back, and Maddie, I swear he broke the fourth wall and then does one of these.
Oh, yes.
For a couple of minutes, or for couple of seconds. And I'm like, is Mo, who's he giving the thumbs up to? Because there's nobody else. There's a curtain next to me. So, and I know he's not looking at me giving me that thumbs up. So is he to the people, like, to let them know that he sees them finally? But no, that's
so great.
That's been my favorite thing. And then on home runs, like, he's my cue. If I see Mo reach back for the Daniels Jewelers promo card, I know that the ball is leaving the yard. If he doesn't reach back, then I know we've got a wall ball and I got to hold the line a little bit. So,
hey, and I also want to ask you, the hold on to your butts. I mean, was that an homage to the Jurassic Park remake and Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, 1,000%. Okay. Somebody Dodger fan commented that Vin Scully was rolling in his grave hearing "hold on to your butts" right before the last out of a World Series.
Yeah.
So it's something I've done, like, even going back to when I was at NHL Network doing, World Juniors or the NHL Network showcases, and, like, big tense moments, like leading up to the end of a game, I'll say that just to sort of, like, break the tension / set the tension. And I probably should have kept that one in the holster for the last several World Series, but I don't know.
We are who we are, man. It's all good.
I love the line of their backs to the wall to back. That's pretty good, man.
Nelly, thanks. Way to go, dude. Thanks for doing this and getting up early on the West Coast. Enjoy the start of your off season. It was a long grind you guys went through, certainly calling everything in the postseason. So thanks for the time today, bud. Good to see you.
You too, guys. Love you guys always. Good to see you virtually. If only I was around a set for 8 days. Tried to see Harold. I was like, H, but he had some other hands and other babies to kiss. So just got big league there.
I never even saw him. Unbelievable.
That's because he wasn't in the owner's suite.
That's true. That's true.
All right, let's take a break. Nelly, thanks for coming on, bud.
See you later.
Stephen Nelson,
thanks,
Dodgers
Steven.
Radio
Appreciate
play-by-play voice, joining us.